Most leaders think results come from strategies, systems, or just pushing harder. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Results don't come from systems, they come from people. And people only give their best when they feel seen, trusted, and respected. In this video, I'm going to show you why connection is not just some fluffy skill, but actually the biggest competitive advantage you have as a leader. We'll talk about why trust and clarity matter more than perks, paychecks, and how connection directly impacts performance, and the trap leaders fall into when they forget this. By the end, my goal is that you'll walk away knowing exactly why relationships are the foundation of high-performing teams, and how to start using connection as your leadership superpower. Let's start here. Too often, leaders lean on strategies, KPIs, or complex systems to try and squeeze out results. And don't get me wrong, those do matter, but at the core, results come from people. And people only bring their best selves when they feel their leader actually cares about them, when they feel seen, trusted, and respected. This balance of caring personally whilst challenging directly is where real leadership lives. When you show genuine care, you earn trust. And when you combine that with direct and honest feedback, you create clarity. When you put trust and clarity together, then you have the engine that drives high performance. Think about your own experience. Have you ever had a boss you knew genuinely cared about you? Chances are you were more than willing to go the extra mile and run through a wall for that leader. You shared your best ideas and you took risks. Now compare that to a boss you knew only cared about results. Did you hold back, play it safe even, or even disengage? This isn't just feel-good leadership. Data backs this up. According to Gallup, employees who feel connected to their managers are 59% less likely to look for a new job, and teams with high trust outperform low trust teams by up to 50%. So, connection isn't just a nice to have, connection is performance. It's the thing that turns difficult conversations into growth moments. It's the thing that turns conflict into collaboration, and really it's the fuel you need to execute at the highest level. So if you want results, don't start with spreadsheets, start with relationships. But here's the problem. Too many leaders still dismiss connection as soft. They think, I don't have the time to sit and talk about feelings. I need to hit targets and get results. And in the process, they miss the very thing holding their team back. Because let's be honest, leadership can feel like emotional whiplash, right? I mean, one moment you're celebrating with a team member whose child just graduated university, such an awesome moment. Then the next, you're consoling someone who's just lost a loved one. Then you're coaching someone through burnout. All of that while still being expected to deliver quality numbers and hit those targets. It's exhausting. And when the pressure mounts, it's easy to slip into seeing people as obstacles instead of assets. Employee concerns, team conflicts, personal crises, burnout. It can feel like these things are in the way of performance. But the truth is, people aren't the obstacle. They're the reason you're leading in the first place. And if you ignore the human side of leadership, here's what happens. Your top performers start burning out. Your quiet team members stop sharing ideas. Your culture starts eroding, and that's the silent cost of leadership without connection. Now let's flip it. What happens when leaders do lean into connection? First, let's take a look at what's happening in the world of talent right now. At the time of this recording, Mark Zuckerberg is literally throwing money at AI researchers, offering massive paychecks up to $100 million to poach top talent. And it's not just Meta, it's the competition for top talent is fierce across all industries. But here's the catch. Money alone doesn't keep people. Imagine a game of musical chairs. Right now in many countries, we're in recession, so the music is off. People are staying put. But what happens when the economy picks back up and the money starts flowing again? The music starts up. The question is, what's going to stop your talent from jumping up and running to the next chair? If your only retention strategy is money, you're in a race you can't win, because someone will always be willing to pay more than you are. You can attract talent with money, but you can only keep them with connection. That's why connection actually is a competitive advantage. And here's something most leaders miss. Connection isn't about being everyone's best friend. It's not about spending endless hours with every employee. It's about your presence, how you show up, and how people deal with you directly. Because relationships you have with your direct reports create a ripple effect. The way you lead them shapes how they lead their teams. And the ripple effect either builds or quietly destroys your culture. And look, relationships themselves don't actually scale, and I get that. But culture does. And culture is simply the collection of behaviors, values, and connections across your entire organization. And that's why it all starts with you as the leader. Here's the key moment. Your humanity is not a liability to your leadership. Your ability to care, to connect, to show up with presence is actually your greatest asset. Think about it. The leaders who made the biggest impact on you, were they the ones who had the smartest systems or the ones who made you feel seen, heard, and challenged you to grow? Most of us don't remember the quarterly targets from 5 years ago, but we do remember the boss who believed in us, the manager who gave us hard feedback but paired it with care, and the leader who made us feel like we mattered. That's the mark of connection, and that's what drives performance that lasts. So let's land this plane. Leadership is not about strategy, KPIs, or systems. Those things are important, but they're not the core. The core is people, and people only bring their best selves when they feel connected. Connection builds trust, trust builds clarity, and trust plus clarity is what fuels high performance. So next time you're tempted to see people as obstacles, remind yourself this: they're not in the way of results, they are the result. It's all about people. If this video changed how you think about leadership, don't stop there. Tap the subscribe button on the screen right now for more videos on how you can become a leader people want to follow, not just listen to.